July 2nd, 2018, Caddo Parish Commission work session to order at this time. Mr. Hopkins, are you here yet?
Yeah.
We can have, Ms. Nations, can you do us the roll call, please, ma'am?
Dominic.
Present.
Johnson, Jackson. Bowman. Hawthorne.
Present.
Watts,
Present.
Wilson, Atkins, Travis.
Here, ma'am.
Johnson.
There we go. You feel better now?
And we have a quorum?
We do.
Okay, everybody will stand. We will get the invocation to be led by Commissioner Jim Smith and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Matthew Lynn, please.
Heavenly Father, we pause to thank you for all that you're doing for us. Thank you, Father, most of all for your Son, Jesus Christ, saving us from our sins. We pray, Father, that everything we do would bring honor and glory to your name. Amen.
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 Everyone, please face our flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance along with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Hopkins, I'll turn it back over to you. I think we have agenda additions. Do you have any agenda additions?
I have none, sir.
And I don't have any. So we'll move to citizens' comments. Citizens who wish to address the commission must fill out a comment card and forward it to myself or the clerk of the commission. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Todd, I don't have any comment cards. Do you have any?
No, sir.
Mr. Settle, going once, going twice. Okay, our visitors.
We have no business. We move to reports, administrator report.
Dr. Wilson,
I don't have any today, sir.
you don't have anything? Okay, next.
Next, we move to commission remarks, responses to items on the agenda. I just want to point out one thing. The assessor's office called last week and asked we put this on the notice of intent on
Do you need to read that?
the agenda. Now, we don't have to read it
Okay.
today. I'll read it on Thursday.
Okay,
But we may get to pull it off. I'll know something either by the end of the day or in the morning. We may not have to do. State law has changed a little bit, and because their millage was biomedical research fund was a millage that had a renewal a couple years ago,
yes.
they treat it like a new tax in the old way that they did it. So they said we may have to put this back on, re-vote, re-advertise, but we'll have a definitive answer by Thursday.
This is not concerning the Caddo Parish Commission millages, but rather a millage regarding the biomed.
That's correct. It's a
Medical research.
Special purpose millage regarding the biomedical research fund.
Okay. All right. And so do we have any other communiques, remarks, or responses to items on the agenda by any commissioners at this time? I will say that I'm going to go ahead and say we did have an animal service committee meeting before this. It was fairly lengthy. We will have another one on July 16th at 2 o'clock, and we'll let Mr. Bowman give the update on that. So, okay, President's reports next. I'll save that for Thursday. Oh, excuse me. Lewis, did you need something?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. It's just that I have the appointment for District 3 that will also be moved to for Thursday.
What appointment? Is it on the agenda?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We'll get to that in a minute, I guess.
I'm sorry, I thought you asked if there was any other for any concerns on the agenda. I apologize.
Okay, sorry. Okay, President's report will be Thursday, and Todd, go ahead, I'll let you go.
Okay, we have no old business. We move to new business.
Okay,
Authorize introduction of ordinance number 5784, amending the 2018 budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the general fund to decrease the appropriation for Metropolitan Planning Commission to $50,000.
So moved to
Second.
Thursday.
all right, I got a motion by Commissioner Chavez, and to move this to Thursday, and a second by Commissioner Middleton. Do we have any discussion on this issue?
Can I speak on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, real quick, guys. LBJ is on this as a co-sponsor, and he's out of the country, but he should be back, and he asked to move this to Thursday, so he could speak then. I hate that we had to bring this onto the agenda, but we have all known that the business climate of what's been going on at the MPC, we've had so many negative things that this was our last resort to try to get them to be more business friendly. So here we sit now. Of course, we've had some recent changes that were notified to us this morning. So I think we'll be in discussions throughout this week, and then when we get to Thursday to make a vote on this, we can make a better decision later. But I ask that we move it to Thursday, and then when LBJ gets back, then we can make those decisions Thursday. That's all.
Commissioner Atkins?
Out of respect for Commissioner Chavez and Commissioner Johnson, I'm happy to agree to move to Thursday. I know LBJ's got some thoughts he'd like to share with us, but I just caution our group about disrupting the budgeting process at this point, as it appears we'll be soon seeking a new executive director, and we'd probably like those candidates to see stability and positive change as we try to recruit a new leader into that organization. Just thoughts. I'll share those again with you on Thursday. Thank you.
And my thoughts are probably along your same line. Understand the issue that had popped up. Of course, obviously we had a new change. I think some of this stuff was spurred by the fact of the fire district situation that came about in the joint district of Lyndon Johnson and myself. But I think that, don't think we need to do a knee-jerk reaction. I think that what we probably need to do is at least send this to a committee to look at this further. And I'll be happy to support moving this to Thursday at this time, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Commissioner Lewis Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. President. I too was going to withhold my comments until Thursday, but since we are commenting, I share those same sentiments, and I don't know how we have concluded this to be a last resort. How do we conclude that, and how do we come to that conclusion, number one? And number two, how do we find any department or any agency, MPC aside, with the expectation being to do a better job, to line things out and increase your services? How do we accomplish that by cutting your budget? And can we do that in business or anywhere else? So I have some concerns based on that, but I too will respectfully withhold the other comments until Thursday. Thank you.
I think there's a good chance that this will get considered, just kind of chatting with Mr. Chavez, to the Long Range Committee. Obviously it was talked about in Long Range Committee. Commissioner Chavez was supposed to be, there were some issues about moving forward in meetings and things that just kind of probably happened with all the stuff that's happened. So anyway, I would say let's move this to Thursday at this time, but Commissioner Lynn, you're on board.
With what you just said, motion to send this to Long Range Committee.
Okay, so Commissioner Lynn makes a substitute motion to send this to Long Range Committee at this time. Do we have a second?
I would second that.
Okay, I have a second by Commissioner Lewis Johnson to go ahead and send this to Long Range Committee.
And I'd like to speak on
Go
it.
ahead.
I'll be short. I'd like to send this to Long Range Committee because I don't want it to be on Thursday's agenda. With all respect that I can have for Commissioner Johnson, I would like for him to be able to speak in Long Range Committee. And for this to appear on an open meeting agenda without us having an executive director lined up, I agree with what has already been said, that it puts a bad first step forward, and I think that we need to take a step back, let everything be the way it is, and then evaluate who will be coming in to take that spot. And I think that if we leave this on the agenda, it puts a bad first step forward.
Commissioner Chavez?
I can't obviously speak for LBJ, but I'm definitely willing to chair this topic in Long Range, and he'll be able to speak his day there as well. So if that's the desire of the board, I'm definitely with that as well, and I'll be voting yes for that. Thank you, Commissioner Lynn.
Okay, so we have a substitute motion by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner Lewis Johnson to send this matter to the Long Range Committee. We'll be voting on that first. If you're ready to send this to the Long Range Committee, please vote yes. And that passes 10-0. Mr. Hopkins, moving to the next item.
Authorize resolution number 47 to relocate polling place for precinct number 2 from Lakeview United Methodist Church to South Lakeshore Drive to Willow Point Baptist Church.
So moved.
That's been made by Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts, seconded by Commissioner John Atkins. Is this in your district?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Middleton?
I was just going to ask you to go ahead and move this one and the next one forward to Thursday.
Okay, so Commissioner Middleton
Final
has,
place.
Commissioner Middleton has made a substitute motion to englobo resolution number 47 and also resolution number 48 to englobo and move those to Thursday, which is also a relocation of a district, I guess a polling place in Commissioner Lyndon Johnson's district. Please vote to move those to Thursday.
Who was the second, sir?
That was made by Commissioner Middleton and seconded by Commissioner Jackson. And that passes 10-0. Moving to our next item.
Authorize changes to the Caddo Parish personnel policy as recommended by the administration.
Motion to move.
Got a motion by Commissioner Lewis Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Lynn Cawthorn to move this item to Thursday regarding the Caddo Parish personnel policy recommendation. And I believe that also has been recommended by the Personnel Policy and Procedures Committee. Commissioner Lewis Johnson, do you wish to speak on this item?
No, other than moving it to Thursday
Okay.
at this time.
Commissioner Jackson, are you on the board to speak?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted a quick synopsis of what we got here in front of us. Just
Commissioner
brief
Lewis
and
John,
just
I guess we can have Erica is being pointed at, and I think it was Haley was the main person that was doing it. Erica, can you give us a quick synopsis?
Yes, sir. Periodically, the administration brings various personnel changes to you all. A lot of these changes are cleanup language for things that we have errors in the policy.
Out of date.
Yeah, dates or just words that we're trying to correct. In your attachment is a summary that provides what each change is. There are various changes, and it points out what we're doing if we're correcting language. We have changes to the benefit wording for life insurance. There's a change to the sick leave policy for bereavement. There's some changes to the donated sick leave policy, just providing more clarification there. The vacation leave, providing for the electronic timekeeping system there. Tuition assistance, making it in accordance with the IRS guidelines. There's also some changes just in wording for the cafeteria plan, acknowledging the $500 rollover as identified by the IRS, and some changes for other family medical leave, military leave, and other leaves. But there is a summary attached in your document. It should be a summary that lists out what each change is.
Okay.
And we've also provided the line version of what it was and what we're changing.
Okay, thank you.
And I would just encourage anybody, if anybody has any questions about this, to please review and peruse this item. And you can, probably the best person to contact would be Erica or maybe Haley if she's not available. If y'all have any
Cheryl.
questions.
Michelle McGee.
Do what? Cheryl, yeah, okay. Concerning this issue. So anyway, Commissioner Jackson, you still have the floor. Do you have any other questions?
I'm just curious, Dr. Wilson, and Attorney Frazier, whoever, does this have to come to the commission, or is this just something y'all are choosing to do?
No, it's the commission's policy that you're adopting.
So this wouldn't just be an administrative function to,
This is one that's in the charter.
so the administrative changes have to be, is this considered an administrative change, or is this considered a policy handbook change with our employees? Just want to be some clarification on it.
Basically, per the charter, any personnel policies have to be recommended by administration and approved
Okay.
by the commission.
Okay.
So that is specifically outlined in the
So
charter.
this is not commission related, is it?
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Good talk, sure.
And appreciate the
I
clarification.
guess it's concerning the personnel policy and procedures.
No, she answered my question. Just appreciate it. And thank you, Ms. Bryant, for going through that. Thank you.
Personnel policy and procedures with regards to, I guess, employees, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Employee handbook.
Yeah, classified employees.
All right, please vote. And that passes 10-0. Mr. Hopkins, moving to our next item.
Authorize appointment to Fire District 3 Board, appointment to fill the unexpired term left vacant by the death of Mr. David Tree Burke for the following candidates: Linda Dodson, Kevin Dunn, and Susan Tuberville.
Motion to move to Thursday, please.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Lewis Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Lynn Carthorne to move, I guess, these three appointments, three individuals to Thursday. Please vote. This is in Commissioner Lewis Johnson's district. And that passes 10-0. Moving to our next item.
Authorize special resolution of recognition to Mr. Nick LeBrun.
I make a motion that we in Globo move both authorizations for resolution Nick LeBron and Mr. Ken Kraft to Thursday.
Second.
Okay, that was made by the chair, second by Lynn Cawthorn. Commissioner Lynn Cawthorn, please vote. And that passes 9-1. Okay, moving to our next item.
Next, we move to communications committee reports.
Okay. Commissioner Jackson?
Yes, Attorney Frazier, appreciate you for working out those NGO issues. If you could, y'all could get us a list of, not just me, just everybody. If y'all could shoot us a list of who all still has some outstanding issues with their NGO stuff, who all has gone forward with their executed agreements, and if there's anybody, any organizations that you think won't make the cut, or when I say make the cut, I mean they may not receive that funding if they and so if y'all can get that to us later this week. But I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson, I'm having trouble hearing you over here.
I know it's a time-consuming task, and you all have gone through that, and so if you could just get us a list of that, it could either be electronic or you could do it, put one in our box, either or. And also wanted to thank Henri. Is he here? If he's not, just wanted to thank Henri for taking care of the car show. It went on with the success, and I think he's working on some other events throughout the city and the parish, and so just wanted to say thank you to Henri for that. I didn't get a chance to personally thank him immediately after the car show. Also want to take the opportunity to thank the parish staff and just fellow commissioners for reaching out during this period of transition with my mother. It really meant a lot to see folks show up and show their support. We're yet in prayer, and this life is filled with transition, and she would want us to continue to go on with the work of the people. So thank you, and appreciate your prayers and support. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson, and we'll just say you are in our prayers. We're sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Had a couple things. Wanted to thank Henri and his staff for doing a wonderful job this past weekend. We had a event at the Earl Williamson Park, Hooked on Fishing. I think it was the 27th year we've had that. Appreciate y'all's hard work and the good turnout they had there, Henri. I know Friday you had I was coming by, was it Friday, coming by there was another several groups through, I guess, a summer camp program or something that was at Earl Williamson Park playing volleyball and doing different activities, so it was good to see the park alive. The grass was cut, everything looked really good, so appreciate it. Wanted to remind everybody that I guess Wednesday is July 4th, Independence Day. I wanted to wish everybody a happy 4th of July and Independence Day. I know that Sheriff Prater and Chief Crump, all the law enforcement agencies put out issues concerning proper use of fireworks and those type of items. Please be careful, please be safe during the holidays. Of course, there will be the 4th of July Rockets on the Red, if I'm saying that right, will be celebrated here on the 4th of July in Shreveport. So hopefully everybody can come out and look at that. We are a sponsor of that, so and it will be televised by KTBS Channel 3, if I'm correct. Is that the name of the event? Is it
Rockets on the Red?
something like
July
that?
celebration.
Yeah. Okay. So just want to remind everybody, please be careful. And if we won't see each other. We won't see anybody else out there until after the 4th of July. So please be careful. And do know also the sheriff and the Shreveport Police Department obviously doing a lot of checks for the DWI checks and the drinking of alcohol. So everybody, please be careful. Don't get stopped and don't be drinking. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Commissioner Chavez, you're on the board.
Thank you, President. You pretty much stole my thunder. I know we have to deal with all the alcohol in the parish, and I was going to touch on happy Independence Day on the 4th, and to be safe, and for all the employees, enjoy your day off. See you guys all on Thursday.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes, Dr. Wilson. I don't recall us approving the sponsorship. I heard him say we were sponsoring. So how is that sponsorship going?
Actually, we ran it through our department, the Parks and Recreation Department.
Okay, and what specifically are we sponsoring on it?
The fireworks.
Just the fireworks?
Just the fireworks.
Okay. And is that through are we reimbursing them for an expense or?
Yes, sir, we pay the invoice.
Okay, they invoice us for it. Okay. But that's not anything that would come through the normal NGO process?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no one else is on, so that concludes the community reports. We'll move to citizen comments, late arrivals. I have no cards. Todd, do you have anything?
No, sir.
So our next item will be,
Consent agenda.
okay.
Move to adjourn.
I got a motion and second, and so we will adjourn.
Yeah. I can go back tomorrow.
Thanks for the long ride that worked out well.
Back to work.
All right, have a good one. See y'all Thursday, man.